Blue Origin's been working on New Glenn since 2012. At that time, Bezos wrote, "We plan to fly New Glenn for the first time before the end of this decade from historic Launch Complex 36 at Cape Canaveral, Florida." But of course, the 21st decade has come, and New Glenn hasn't budged, making it the butt of many jokes. However, Blue Origin recently leaked some images believed to be part of the rocket they've been nurturing for many years. This indicates their growing determination to compete in the rocket launch market, especially against SpaceX. But while New Glenn is just in the nurturing stage, SpaceX has been accelerating its projects for a long time and achieving truly astonishing feats that no one can match up to, especially Blue Origin. So, what's it gonna take for Blue Origin to catch up? Does New Glenn have any hope for survival? Stay tuned as we dive into this and more in today's episode of Alpha Tech. While SpaceX is currently attracting attention with the second test flight of the Starship, Blue Origin, the company founded by rival billionaire Jeff Bezos, is also intensifying research on its reusable heavy-lift rocket. Many in the space industry see Blue Origin as a counterbalance to SpaceX, led by Elon Musk, which has virtually monopolized the rocket launch market. Questions arise about why Blue Origin isn't further along in its progress. The company has not yet achieved orbit, but is making strides towards such a mission, manufacturing large metal sections and components for its fleet of New Glenn orbital rockets in a spacious factory near the launch pad. This is further clarified by the latest images recently posted by your friend Greg Scott. One of the rocket tanks of the New Glenn was spotted at the Test and Clean Tank Building, or TCAT, within Blue Origin's Exploration Park. This facility is located in the Cape Canaveral area, not far from the company's launch site at LC-36 on Cape Canaveral Space Force Station. Looking at the photo, we can't be certain about the specific type of tank. Are they assembling a Phase 2 tank? Or could it be a liquid nitrogen or liquid oxygen tank? On top of the vehicle, there appears to be some machinery. Perhaps they're in the process of completing the dome structure. In any case, that's just speculation. Anybody else have any good guesses as to what this is? Let me know in the comments down below. But hold on. This is a good sign that Blue Origin is pushing its progress a bit further in rocket production, whatever the specific details might be. Alongside these images, Blue Origin's official website previously posted a video showcasing their engine manufacturing facility in Alabama, predominantly featuring footage of engine nozzles being produced and meticulously tested by engineers. In reality, Blue Origin will need much more than that for both the Vulcan Centaur and New Glenn. While Vulcan requires 2 BE-4 engines, New Glenn requires 7 in its first stage alone. Hence, the quantity of components or details for engine production at Blue Origin's factory is still relatively sparse, if not to say nothing at all. This brings to mind the contrast when comparing a NASA official's shared photo from their visit to SpaceX's Starbase. It's a stark contrast in sight that anyone can notice, even a 3-year-old, I think. Indeed, the remarkable number of engines produced by SpaceX is truly astounding, leaving one to wonder when Blue Origin will achieve a similar feat. But back to Blue Origin, it must be said that they are slow but very ambitious. Amidst the flurry of spaceflight activity, Blue Origin's latest move at Port Canaveral signals a leap for its aerospace endeavors. The company has erected a massive tower crane looming high above the port's landscape. This installation stands as a preparatory piece for the anticipated launch of their New Glenn rocket. Port Canaveral, a site historically bustling with maritime activity, now bears witness to the aerospace industry's growth as it becomes a crucial nexus for rocket booster recovery operations. The presence of Blue Origin's 375-foot-tall crane signifies a confident step, asserting a perseverance to participate and fiercely compete in the launch market. Their primary competitor in this arena is none other than Elon Musk's SpaceX. While each step by Blue Origin is commendable, catching up with SpaceX is a long and arduous journey, especially if they continue to adhere to their inherently outdated working style. Blue Origin has a rich man mentality driving it in the form of Jeff Bezos, who tends to take a conservative approach keep failures and development hassles under his hat, and focuses on politics and partnerships over hardware. SpaceX has an almost polar opposite philosophy in which the driving personality of Musk has a poorer man's approach where everything is done as quickly and cheaply as possible in order to minimize development times. Development hiccups are celebrated as a way to stimulate public interest, and hardware partnerships are not actively pursued since Musk has found that vertical integration of his essential components frees SpaceX from the whims and reliability, or lack thereof, of external suppliers. If you look at the results that these two opposite approaches have achieved, it doesn't take a genius to see which one is the more effective. After 21 years of work, Blue Origin has only one functioning system, which isn't even capable of reaching orbit. SpaceX, in 2 years less time, has two different orbital launch systems, as well as the only functional way for the US crew to enter space. Let's take a look at the ongoing projects. Blue Origin has been working on its New Glenn system since 2012, and as of now, they still haven't delivered a fully worthy BE-4 main engine for flight. On paper, the New Glenn looks like a very potent threat to the Falcon Heavy, with capabilities that in some cases exceed what at present is the world's most powerful rocket in service. Payload mass is less, but payload volume is much higher due to the significantly larger core size. But being a threat to the Falcon Heavy is not good enough, since SpaceX is not just sitting on its hands. It's developing the groundbreaking Starship launch system. SpaceX is not content to merely recover the biggest and most expensive part of the launcher, the booster, as in the case of the Falcon and New Glenn rockets. SpaceX is aiming at the holy grail of rocketry and recovering every part of the vehicle in a system that is rapidly, and thus cheaply, capable of being reflown. When Blue Origin eventually launches New Glenn, which is scheduled for 2024, SpaceX will be putting Starship into orbit, and the game will come to an end. 100 tons to orbit for just $2 million US. Adding to that is the capability of SpaceX's system to refuel in orbit, allowing this high payload capacity to go anywhere within the solar system, making it challenging to consider what could beat that. In fact, the development of Starship began in 2016, although actual work didn't kick off until 2019. But in just 4 years since then, this cattle ranch has transformed into a large-scale rocket production facility, where multiple prototype flights are conducted every year, developing at a staggering pace. And coming up is the second launch this year of a complete, enormous Starship. Although still awaiting launch approval, SpaceX never slows down. Each of its facilities operates at full capacity, unlike the subdued and empty atmosphere at Blue Origin's factories. At the bustling starbase in Boca Chica, Texas, Starship prototypes are always being shifted around like bottles at a soda factory. Notably, Ship 32, the latest addition to SpaceX's Starship fleet, is making remarkable strides in its assembly process. The mid-liquid oxygen section seamlessly merged with the rest of the prototype on November 3rd, and with the aft section housing the 6 powerful Raptor engines set to be mated soon, the completion of yet another ship is imminent. Meanwhile, the construction of Star Factory, the Starship Production Center, continues with new developmental steps. White panels gradually conceal the metal framework. However, this progress is tinged with a hint of disappointment as potential changes in design become apparent. Musk's initial vision, shared through a render showcasing an impressive glass front, now seems to have been altered, with recent paneling work indicating a departure from the anticipated glass structure. But that's just speculation, and it does nothing to diminish the exciting future for Starship production activities. As the starbase evolves, so does the community surrounding it. The residential area for the dedicated workers in Boca Chica is undergoing significant expansion. Beyond the RV park, which has become a temporary home, a new section for trailers is taking shape, and actual houses are under construction. The once sleepy coastal town is transforming into a thriving hub of activity, reflecting the growing magnitude of SpaceX's mission and the determination of those contributing to the construction of the most significant rocket ever envisioned by humankind. Well, folks, that's it for today's episode. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we hope you enjoyed it and learned something new. Also, please let me know how you felt about today's content, because your feedback is very important to us and helps us make better videos for you. So for that, once again, thank you so much, and we hope to see you again next time.